In this video, we'll explore 3 ways you can use VertiGIS Studio today to optimize pipeline operations. First, we'll take a look at how to visualize and interact with pipeline integrity data. Then, we'll explore how to take your data offline and streamline work order management in the field. And finally, we'll explore how to generate polished PDF reports that can be shared with stakeholders. And at the end, we'll also look at how to configure VertiGIS Studio using our low-code designers. VertiGIS Studio is a platform used to build sophisticated web and mobile applications without code. It supports a number of layout styles, including an LRS data viewer, which takes your pipeline property and integrity data and visualizes it in a straight line diagram, regardless of whether you are using a pipeline data model like PODS or UPDM or not. So as long as you have a centerline feature and measure values in your layers, then you can visualize it. Here we can see the different properties of the pipeline. We can also see the relevant safety-related crossings, such as roads, ecological areas, and DOT classes. Here we can see depth of cover and elevation. And now we can see the pipeline integrity data. Here we can see anomalies. We can zoom into clusters and click on individual features to view their attributes. We can switch routes by searching the route by name. And we can also use the route selector to visualize different parts of the pipeline. And the arrows can be used to move the range back and forth. The start and end ranges can be adjusted individually using the start and end selectors, respectively. Alternatively, we can enter the exact measure values to zoom into the desired pipeline segment. And if you have a dual monitor setup, you can pop out the LRS diagram and move it to another monitor. The straight line diagram can also be exported as an image for documentation or sharing with others. In addition, we can also share a link to the exact application view we are currently using. And we can also add data on the fly and choose whether we want to add it to an existing or new band. We're also able to select the chart type and the measure field to use for displaying the data. Optionally, we could choose the symbol shape, color, and size to customize the look and feel of the new band. And here's the data we have just added. We can also view the straight line diagram in tabular format and choose to either export each individual layer or export the entire dataset in your preferred format. We can also run actions off of the features displayed here in the straight line diagram. Points of interest can be added by right-clicking on a feature. And measurements can be added via the same process. Points of interest and measurements can then be configured to launch actions upon right-clicking on them. The POI panel, or the Points of Interest panel, can be used to view existing POIs and for adding new ones to the map. We can add POIs based on our current location, through a form, and directly through the map. Now, to ensure we can efficiently manage work along our pipelines, we can right-click on an anomaly and run an action that will guide us through assigning a work order. Here, we have our date and work order template automatically filled out, and all we have to do is assign the field staff member, set the priority, and add a comment. We are able to add an attachment if required, and then we can submit this work order to our field staff, which is sent to them via email. Now, a work order feature is created in our GIS and automatically synced to our other business systems, such as our work order management systems, asset management systems, ERPs, CRMs, and more. Now, let's go out into the field and complete the work order we just created. Let's select our work order, and here we can choose from a variety of actions. We can run a variety of out-of-the-box tools, open third-party applications or Street View, or open configurable forms to allow for a streamlined editing experience. Here, we'll set the work order status to in progress, we'll complete the repairs, and add a comment. At this point, we can submit the work order and move on to the next work order. In the case where we know that we'll be going into a rural area without internet connectivity, we can download a section of the map to our device's local storage, regardless of whether you're using an iOS, Android, or Windows device. Let's complete another work order while in an offline state. Here we are going to enable a map area to allow us to download the data to our local storage. We'll select a work order that needs to be completed. We'll set it to completed, and we'll add a quick signature, and we'll hit submit here. After completing the work order, we can see that there is one edit that needs to be sent back up to our ArcGIS environment. And once we regain internet access, we can submit those edits. Now, after completing the work orders out in the field, we can head back into the office to get a sense of the status of work in the area we were working in. In the straight line diagram, we'll adjust our start and end points to the work area. Next, we'll right-click on the maintenance band and choose Work Order Report. This will parse the work order data into a downloadable ready PDF that I can share with management. Here we can see the type, status, and priority of work across the selected pipeline section. We can also get a sense of what other work needs to be done. Let's run a quick search tool that allows us to filter the anomalies based on a few variables. And because this form is configurable, we can modify it to fit the specific needs of our business. Based on our search, we found 84 anomalies. Let's generate a quick anomaly report to look at this data from a more comprehensible perspective. Here we can see a straight line diagram and a table of our filtered anomalies. From here, I can share this with other team members and stakeholders to start planning how we'll address these. And with our easy-to-use low-code designers, GIS teams can create self-service applications without relying on costly development teams. With VertiGIS Studio Web, users can modify application UI/UX even for mobile experiences, and set up deployment strategies to ensure seamless user acceptance for new features. With VertiGIS Studio Inline, users are able to configure interactive straight-line diagrams for use within VertiGIS Studio Web. And with the user-friendly interface, designing informative LRS views and charts are made simple. Data sources can pull from ArcGIS or dynamically from third-party business systems using a VertiGIS Studio workflow. With VertiGIS Studio Workflow, configuring forms, modeling business workflows, and connecting to APIs are made easy. Users can choose from over 500 activities ranging from GIS-related actions to UI-based actions like displaying a form or alert on the application. Not a developer? Don't worry, VertiGIS Studio Workflow is made for the average GIS analyst that needs to create sophisticated tools in web applications and requires no coding experience to get started. With VertiGIS Studio Reporting, users can quickly develop powerful, data-driven report templates, including charts, tables, images, and related data. Drag and drop the elements you need and start building your first report template in a matter of minutes. To recap, we explored how to visualize pipeline integrity data via a straight line diagram, how to interact with it, and create work orders directly on the data, how to take your data offline and streamline work order management in the field, and how to generate PDF reports to support operations. If you'd like to take a deeper dive into the topics we explored today, or would like to explore other use cases for how we can support your business, feel free to get in touch with us. You can also go to apps.vertigisstudio.com for a free 60-day trial. Thanks for watching.